Cost of dwelling disaster using breathtaking surge in excessive poverty. UNDP London. The worldwide cost of living disaster is pushing a further 71 million human beings inside the global's poorest international locations into intense poverty. A new report posted by means of the UN Development Programme (UNDP) on Thursday has warned. Achim Steiner, UNDP administrator, stated an evaluation of 159 growing international locations confirmed that the surge in key commodity expenses this year turned into already slamming components of sub-Saharan Africa, the Balkans, Asia and somewhere else. The UNDP known as for tailored motion. It becomes searching for direct cash handouts to the most inclined and desired richer nations to extend and widen out the Debt Service Suspension Initiative (DSSI), the installation to help negative international locations during the COVID-19 pandemic. This cost of living disaster is tipping hundreds of thousands of humans into poverty and even hunger at breathtaking velocity, Steiner stated. With that, the threat of increased social unrest grows by means of the day. Institutions like the UN, World Bank and International Monetary Fund have a number of poverty lines, one for the poorest countries where people live on $1.90 or less an afternoon. A $3.20 a day line for decreased middle-income economies and a $5.50 a day line in higher middle-income nations. We venture that the current cost of living disaster may also have pushed over 51 million greater humans into intense poverty at $1.90 an afternoon, and an additional 20 million at $3.20 an afternoon, the document said, estimating it'd push the entire globally to simply over 1.7 billion people. It introduced that centered coins transfers by way of governments could be greater, equitable and cost-effective than blanket subsidies on things like strength and food prices that richer elements of society tend to gain greater from. In the long term they force inequality, similarly exacerbate the weather disaster, and do not melt the immediate blow, the UNDP's head of strategic policy engagement, George Gray Molina, stated. The closing 2 years of the pandemic have also proven that these cash-strapped international locations might want support from the global community to fund those schemes. They should achieve this, Molina said, with the aid of extending the G20-led Debt Service Suspension Initiative (DSSI) by way of 2 greater year and increase it to as a minimum 85 nations from a currently eligible 73. UNDP's Price of Living Disaster Poverty Heatmap 20 Image percent 201,657,144,967,399.png